It's the NFL on EA Sports, where representatives from the AFC and NFC will square up. It's the Niners and the Raiders on Sunday Night Primetime.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
And off we go from Las Vegas. And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29.
So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really can foul.
And now the rookie's free.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
A great play there. 71 yards.
And the Raiders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Well, one word for that opening play call, and that is aggressive, but it worked. First play from scrimmage, long touchdown pass.
Well, let's be honest about it. In our production meeting last night, we talked about when would the secondary get tested. I did not say that it'd get tested on play number one. I knew as the game went along, they would take their shots, but that, as you said, a bold strike and very successful right out of the gate.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his 4th season in the NFL.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now Purdy.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Purdy going to give it to Guerendo.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Back to throw, Purdy.
Robinson's got it.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
They stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up 4th down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
We'll go down as a gain of 6. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal.
He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will stay at a 7-point game. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Geno now to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Smith now to throw.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play. Let's let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
Here's Purdy. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3 and leaves him with 4th and 1.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Gets around him. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Out of the gun, Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just floated from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing is Smith.
Got his man. It's Thornton.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now Geno.
That's complete yet again to Thornton.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Throwing now is Geno. Pass complete right side to Bowers.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Play action. It's Smith. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. Here's Smith. Forced out to his left. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Geno Smith taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Raiders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Purdy. Open man is Juwan Jennings.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it.
That's caught out right by Jennings. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
Well, if you like the matchup and that connection works to start the drive, no reason to go away from it. Let that defense prove that they can stop you. And here, it's 2 throws and 2 first downs.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 24-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it.
Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. So he'll be stopped here for no gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
2nd and 10. Purdy now to throw.
It's complete to Robinson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set them up first and goal.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Once more, Purdy looking to throw.
And it's complete in the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers.
Juwan Jennings from 8 yards out. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score.
And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height.
Jake Moody now for the point after.
And that one makes it 14-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Smith. Open man is Myers. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Here's Smith.
Completes this one to Thornton.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And the Niners get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Smith. Over the middle, complete. It's Myers.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now Smith. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Yetur Gross-Matos getting in there to make the play.
A good scheme and an early win for this pass rush. They got back there before he could work through his entire progression and ended that play early.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
Motion to the left with Jennings. Throwing here, Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Purdy bootlegging it. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Partner, I think this will win a ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field.
They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They start the drive with White. Oh, and now some space to operate. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Out of the gun, Smith.
Look at the big fella go.
Fighting through, and he's got space. And all the way down to the 5. A big play that time on the catch and run. 39 yards. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? That they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
Smith now to throw. Did he get the feed down? Yes! Touchdown! Jakobi Meyers, a 5-yard touchdown.
And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was all capped off by Jacoby Myers on the touchdown reception. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Purdy now to throw off the play action. And the Raiders have got him. Calling a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out when they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now is 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Play action. Now Purdy.
Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Purdy off the play fake.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Up the gut, McCaffrey.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Shotgun now with Purdy.
And that is incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now on to punt. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Going right side is White. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Now Purdy connects with Kittle underneath.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. A give running left now, Guerrero.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Here's Purdy. They'll find Farrell open left side.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Purdy.
Nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Throwing is Smith.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now Smith. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown.
Brock Bowers.
A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Raiders take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming...
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
Out out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, 49ers. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there.
Moody good with the extra point.
And that cuts the lead to 28-14. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do. Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Third and 4.
Throwing now is Geno. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down the...
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
From the 50, it's Smith. And that's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Thornton. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. To throw is Smith.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Smith.
Got his man. It's Thornton.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And the Raiders are going to get a new set of downs.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Carlson is good.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
It was the former comeback player of the year, Geno Smith, who was sharp in the first half. He's over 300 yards passing already as he's looking to possibly put his name in the record book.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
From the 29, here's second down and 5.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
And Robinson, the motion man right. Back to throw, Purdy.
That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it second down. McCaffrey running up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Purdy looking to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. This is McCaffrey on the give. Shifts by him. And he's taken down inside the 30.
41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one good carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Purdy now to throw. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 15-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
This is caught.
And the 49ers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Purdy will look to throw again here.
Touchdown! George Kittle from a yard out.
And the 49ers are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The extra point try now for Moody.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10. A 10-play drive that time.
And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Raiders offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
2nd and 11.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's got room. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff. And when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't. But also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll try the air now with Smith. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I would describe the way that he's played today as mature. He's already moved on mentally from that incompletion, and he's more than ready to throw his next pass downfield.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll try the right side here with White. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Carlson on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
And it's caught by Jennings. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Throwing here, Purdy. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 27. Operating from the gun, Purdy. And this is caught, Jennings. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Jauan Jennings.
His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Niners are able to cut into that deficit.
He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points. But he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Now Moody for the PAT.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
Geno now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Myers.
Now he's free at the 35.
And down to the 19-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
It's Myers again with another catch. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Now Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot. Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So it was 4th down and 1 in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little bit surprised that that's exactly what they decided to do. I kind of thought that they would go for it in that situation. But sometimes I'm sure you just think to yourself, take the 3 points, put them in your pocket, and move on.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Brock Purdy and the 49ers out for their next possession.
He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed, snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Feels like he has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That's caught. It's McCaffrey again.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Purdy from the gun on 3rd down.
Steps away to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots. And right there, he slides in with ease for the 1st down.
Here's Guerrero on 1st down. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. They'll give it up to McCaffrey.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 51 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now Purdy.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, but keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
3rd quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10.
Here's McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 33 and pick up of about 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Here's Purdy.
Dancing to his left. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
In motion right is Robinson. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Purdy.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
Jeremy Chinn, so dangerous wherever he's at on the field, and that time he gets in there for the sack.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Inside the 20.
And finally, wrestled down at the 11. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And this one is right through, and that gets them back within 10.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception. But playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Off of play action, here's Smith.
A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Smith now to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Nick Bosa, his 2nd sack of the night. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Throwing to start the drive. Purdy.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for the Niners. And even 60 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver, that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. They'll motion the tight end across the formation.
Purdy off the play fake.
On the move to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll bring a tight end in motion right. To try again after the sack. Purdy. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
That is caught.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Purdy from the gun.
He's got it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Brandon Ayuk.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the 49ers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Moody good with the extra point.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was Brandon Ayuk capping it off with a touchdown reception. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, Keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Throwing now is Geno. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
2nd and a couple.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a 1st down as well.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Now Geno. He's got it at the 15. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, if you're a fan of offensive football, this game is for you because this one's been much more like a tennis match than a football game. Back and forth, and there's another example right there of another big play in the passing game.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll be taken down here about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
2nd down and 8.
Here's Smith.
Pass complete right side to Bowers.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They'll give him 4 yards there. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
To throw is Smith.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Touchdown Raiders.
Michael Mayer
from 6 yards away.
And the Raiders are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. Now that's certainly an important touchdown there and makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it was finished off by a Michael Mayer touchdown grab.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Purdy looking to throw.
Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
They'll send the tight end in motion. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Ayuk bringing it in on the crossing route here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Throw over the middle, pulled in here by Farrell.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Purdy. And quickly into the hands of Robinson.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it.
And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And the Niners are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Purdy now to throw.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Demarcus Robinson there to make the grab.
And the Niners are back within a score. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point try now for Moody.
And the lead is down to a field goal now. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, and with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again?